Hi and welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about a town in Georgia that you may not have on your wish list, but I think is well worth a visit, and that is the town of Borjomi. Borjomi is known for its mineral springs, and also the bottled water Borjomi you may have seen before is one of their main exports. But there are a lot of other things also to do in Borjomi, and I'm going to talk about them in a minute. If you're new here, my name is Kyria, and I've traveled to over 60 countries, and in 2024 I retired early to travel the world full time. I came to Borjomi because I like to do hiking, and so I specifically came to do hiking. So I didn't do a lot of the other activities, but there are a lot of things to do, such as there are obviously the mineral springs. You can go and soak in them, or you can actually fill up your water bottles with the mineral water and take it home. There are also a lot of sanatoriums from when the Russians were occupying Georgia, and the nobility used to like to go and soak in the hot springs and go to the sanatorium. So there's a lot of that. And a lot of them are abandoned now, but they are still interesting to go and look at. There are also a ton of museums, a lot of interesting architecture. There's a gondola that you can take up to the top of the hill and to have a view, or in the wintertime you can do skiing from there as well. And there are a lot of little easy hikes. Either you can actually hike to one of the sulfur springs, or you can hike around the area for any kind of day hike, because the town of Borjomi is surrounded by the forest of Borjomi. So that is actually why I went there. So without further ado, I'm going to go over a hike that I did in the area, and that is the Panorama Trail. It's a 2-day hike. There are huts along the way, and you can stay in the huts, but you do need to go to the park offices, either in Borjomi, or you can do it at the trailhead, and you need to pay and apply for a permit. So you have to get a permit no matter what, but if you want to stay in the huts, you also have to pay to stay the night in the huts. So I went, got my permit. I paid 20 lari, which is approximately $8 for an overnight stay in the hut, and I was on my way. It was very easy, and if you're not into backpacking or you don't have gear or whatever, it's still, I think, a good hike to do. It's very interesting, and you'll see in a moment, it's very beautiful. And basically all you really need is a sleeping bag and a sleeping mat, because there are bunk beds that you can sleep in, and you can rent those. So if you don't have any gear, that is something you can do. To get to Borjomi is very easy. From Tbilisi, you can take a marshrutka, which is a minivan, or if you're anywhere else, I actually came from this town of Caucasus. You could take a minivan from there as well. They run every couple of hours usually, and from Tbilisi you can actually take the train as well. So many options to get there and lots of things to do, but I'm going to focus on hiking today. Without further ado, let me show you what the hike was like. Okay, I'm starting the panoramic hike from Atskuri, and it's in the Borjomi National Park. And to get here from Borjomi, it's Borjomi. Borjomi is like 30 kilometers, and there's supposed to be a minivan that goes every hour, but I waited and nothing came, so I hitchhiked. So I'm here and I'm starting, and to get to the trailhead, because he just dropped me off on the side of the road, I'm walking, like a half a mile or so. I think it was 1 kilometer. So yeah. So far so good, and it was supposed to rain today, and look at this. Okay, this is the one I'm doing, Panorama, and here we are. We're gonna go up on the red to this Amarati Shelter, and then we're going to go down on the blue back to here, and then we will go back to Borjomi. I'm in the park. I'm starting the trail. I did have to show my permit to the ranger, so do make sure you get your permit either at Borjomi, or I believe you can buy it from this ranger as well. And that's the A name place that I can't remember how to pronounce. So, and they open, I think, at 8. According to the lady at Borjomi Visitor Center or whatever. So, right now it's in the trees, and I'm next to a little creek, and it's very nice. So, I don't know how it'll be if it opens up or if it's lower here, so it's going to be trees the whole time. So I want to say this trail is very well signposted. It's a roughly 16-kilometer uphill to a hut, and it's a 4,000 feet of climbing. So far I've gone about 1,700 feet of climbing and about 3.5 miles. So still a ways to go. 16 kilometers is about 10 miles. Since this trail is called the Panorama Trail, I thought, oh, well, I'll wait to have a break until I get to a nice view where I'll sit and I'll look at it and I'll eat. But pretty much this has been what it looks like. So I was going to hold out for a view, but I've climbed half of my allotted feet so far. So I've climbed 2,000 feet out of 4,000 feet. So I found a log and I figured I might as well eat. So I got a khachapuri. All right, break over. So I was sitting there having my break, though I heard thunder, and I'm not surprised because it's supposed to, according to the weather yesterday, it was supposed to rain today. And so I've fully been expecting to get rained on, but I was really kind of hoping that it would wait until I got to the shelter. But it's a little cloudy. Ooh, that's steep. Yeah, I know you can't see it, but and then it keeps going. It's not looking good. You may notice the sky behind me. It is also starting to rain. So I'm going to get out my stuff and be prepared. Right, we're ready. It's actually not that cold, but it's kind of nice to be on just basically a day hike. I mean, it's a 2-day hike, but because I can carry this umbrella, which isn't like super light, but it's kind of nice to have. So, all right, onward ho! Look at this. It stopped raining and I got to this. Well, I found a panorama. So I'm about 6 miles in so far and almost 3,000 feet of climbing, 2,900 feet of climbing. And the rain kind of let up and it's not totally blue sky, but it's a little bit better. And I found a nice view. So good. The wildflowers here are absolutely stunning. So although spring hiking, sometimes you run into snow or high water, you get the benefit of the wildflowers, which is really nice. I can give you a tree lesson. This is a fir tree. And this is a pine tree. Looks like I have about 2 miles left and only 300 feet of climbing, possibly. I mean, I've already climbed 3,700 feet. So if the thing was accurate, then that would be only 300 feet left. Which, if this is all the case and true, that'll be a pretty gradual uphill. So much for gradual hill. Okay, so you can see the hut right back there, and here's water here. So I'm gonna get some water and go down and see what the hut looks like. Okay, I'm almost to the hut. Hey! So look, we're almost here. So I made it, and this is it. This is the old one, and you can see the new one is right there. So this is the new one. There's light, trash can, there's a stove, there's power. Oh, so sit down. What's that? Good morning. It's day 2, and today, so I'm leaving the shelter now, and today it's not an out and back, so it's kind of circle, and today's hike is about 18 kilometers or like 11 to 12 miles and 5,000 feet of descent and about 1,700 feet of climbing. So I think, this is a complete guess, but I think right now I'm gonna climb up a little, and then I'm assuming the way back is mostly down, but we'll find out. So again, it's clear this morning. I don't know if it'll stay this way, but yesterday it rained quite a lot, but luckily I got into the shelter early enough that it wasn't a big deal. But look at this, birds are singing, sun is shining, wildflowers are popping. Look at this. Ooh. My first order of business is to go uphill, and I don't know if I'm just weak, but it is. I'm at 6,500 feet, which isn't that high. I'm feeling a little out of breath. What's wrong with me? Ooh. I don't know if you can see this very well, but this is the trail. So yesterday I went up here, and now today I'm here, and I'm gonna go back this way and this way. This says 2 hours, 5 kilometers, plus 5 hours, 13 kilometers. So 18 total kilometers and 7 hours of hiking. And according to this, 18.1 kilometers and 5 hours and 40 minutes of hiking. I like that one better. All right, so I've just completed the top of the triangle basically, and I'm kind of heading back south along the creek, and gonna be a better day. I mean, it was supposed to rain today, but it looks like so far no clouds. I love these like pinnacle things up here. Let's see if you can see them up there. Very cool. It's very beautiful. So Panorama Trail is living up to its name. I'm still going slightly uphill a little bit, and so far I've climbed 1,300 feet out of 1,700. So once again, I'm not sure if like once I get to a summity kind of thing, I'll just go downhill the rest of the way, or if there's going to be some undulations. But for now, it's been mostly flat and uphill. I almost want to break out into song, right? Doesn't this make you want to break out into song? I'm not going to do it. Nobody would be happy. But I might do it after I turn the camera off. So I'm heading down now. Lots of switchbacks in the shade, which is nice. Although the views were nice above, it's nice to be in the shade because it is still clear out. As far as I can tell, I still have maybe 2,500 feet of descent. So quite a bit of descent still. So I completed the circle part of the lollipop and now I'm back on the stem. So I'm on a section that I've been on already, except today it's a lot more muddy than it was yesterday. So I just have to go another maybe mile and I'll be done. All right, I'm basically done. I just exited the park. But now I have to walk to the road and find a ride, so not done walking, but I'm done with that specific hike. Okay, so now we've gone over what it's like to do the 2-day panorama hike in Borjomi. You can also do a longer hike called the St. Andrew's hike, which is 4 days. There are lots of options as far as hiking. And the good thing about this area is if the higher regions of the Caucasus Mountains are still under snow, this area is actually a little lower, and so oftentimes you can start hiking a little earlier in the spring. So I think that it's well worth a visit no matter what you're interested in, and definitely if you're interested in hiking. So if you have any questions, leave a note in the comments, and otherwise like and subscribe if you like videos like this so you can get notifications for the future ones. And once again, happy travels and thank you for watching.